MMAWeekly.com, Damon Martin here with Gilbert Melendez, the #1 lightweight in the world. Gilbert, obviously still waiting to hear about your next fight, but I gotta ask you, first off, what did you think of Jorge Masvidal's performance last weekend?
I thought it was a great fight by both guys. Jorge looked really good. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I mean, of course, it has a lot to do with my career and who I'm fighting next, possibly. So, yeah, I thought Jorge looked really sharp on his hands, you know, quick, you know, great kicks, showed that he's a full MMA fighter, you know, a well-rounded MMA fighter, and yeah, he did great. I was pretty happy with the performance. Looks good. You know, I welcome the challenge, you know.
Just judging from that fight, and obviously what happened with the Justin Wilcox Jay-Z fight, just in your opinion, does he deserve a title shot?
If anyone in Strikeforce does in my weight division, yeah, he does. Yeah, definitely. I've always thought Jorge was good. I picked him to beat KJ. You know, everyone thought KJ was going to win, and I knew he was going to beat KJ. And I think he's a tough guy. And yeah, man, I think he's a worthy opponent. And like I said, I'd love to fight him.
Now, nothing against Jorge Masvidal. He's a great fighter, but I think because of what happened with your teammate, Nick Diaz, he's going to the UFC, he gets that shot against GSP. Everyone wants to see you against the winner of Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard when it happens. Just, I know it's probably not going to happen right now, but if you had your perfect world, would that be your next fight?
Of course. You know, like I said, I'm trying to become the #1 lightweight in the world. You know, to MMA Weekly I am, maybe Al Wapo and HDNet I am, and to a couple others, to many others, on #2, #3, #4, #5 even. So I really want to make that statement, and the only way you can really do that is, you know, by going to the UFC and taking the UFC title. So of course I'd like that opportunity. But I can definitely kick some other guys' butts first. You know, it doesn't really matter who I fight right now. I truly believe I'm #1. I'll beat anyone. You know, I just don't match up good with the champ. I think I can match up. I'm a bad matchup for anyone out there.
I know Dana White said that when he made the matchup with Nick and GSP, you know, the fans demanded it. You know, the fans just kept asking. So, do you think we could, you know, the fans could push for that fight and maybe make that happen as well?
Please, man, if you fans out there that love me so much or support me, you know, Twitter Dana, Twitter those guys, and please put it out there, and I'll do my job and keep putting on good shows and get new fans that want to ask for that fight. So, yeah, that's definitely my goal, and you know, I think that'll be better for me at the end. I want people to demand for that fight, not just me. I want the whole world to want to see me fight for the UFC lightweight title.
Now, you're just coming off a fight a couple months ago, and I know that Jorge's coming off this fight literally last weekend, but in your own perfect world, how soon do you want to fight again?
Man, yesterday. That's a perfect world. I wanted to fight yesterday, but you know, there needs to be some sort of significance to me defending my title, and now that played out a little bit. It looks like Jorge's on top of the list, so you know, judging by his fight in June, July, August, maybe something in September, you know, September, late September, who knows, you know, I know there's a mid-September card, I'll jump on that, or whatever they want, you know, just give me a heads up, and I'll be game.
How much, I mean, you know, if you get past a guy like Jorge Masvidal, I mean, you've literally already kind of cleaned out the division. He's just kind of a new contender. So will there be a point when you'll start, you know, maybe, I hate to use the word demand, but you'll start asking more for that title shot to, you know, unify the belts or go over and fight for that UFC title?
Yeah, if I make a statement on my next fight, you know, I believe I'll keep asking for that. I will keep demanding for that. But I like to do my demanding in the cage, if you know what I mean. And I'll let my manager and I'll let, you know, Dana and the UFC and Strikeforce and Showtime and everyone else figure out all the politics. You know, I just like to kick butt, and I'll be shouting it out there, you know, if I deserve it, and you know, I'm a patient guy. You know, everyone's like, you need to go straight for the title, and you know, like I said, I'll knock them all down one by one.
It's looking like October for Frankie and Gray to rematch. I just want to get your opinion. If you had to pick that fight for the second time, or third time, I guess, technically, who do you think wins? I'm
going to have to give it to Frankie if he keep that footwork up, you know what I mean? I think he'll win the match, not necessarily the fight, if you know what I mean. I thought, you know, if Gray lands that big punch again and buckles him, you know, and comes in a little bit more, he has a great chance. But if Frankie keep that footwork going and stay light on his feet and move around, I think he can outpoint him. Both amazing fighters, though. So I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to be real close still.
So if Frankie wins, how do you think you match up with Frankie?
I think I match up great with Frankie. You know, I preferably like to fight him in my hexagon, which is a little bit smaller than that giant octagon. But either way, you know, he's fast on his feet and he moves a lot, and the biggest obstacle would be to get him to stay there and fight me in the pocket, you know? But I think I can get that to happen.
Last question. You're a great teammate with all your guys. I know Jake came up a little short in his fight with GSP. Now one of your other teammates, Nick Diaz, gets a shot. Tell us why Nick Diaz is going to beat George St. Pierre.
Well, the reason why is we're going to deep waters now. We got Nick Diaz in a 5-round fight. Any Diaz boy in a 5-round fight, you're in trouble. You know, usually you see the Diaz, when they do lose, it's like they end up winning the end of the 2nd round and they win the 3rd, and the guy's exhausted after the fight, and Nick or Nate's still talking like they're ready to go a couple more rounds. So I think the fact that we're going to go to deep water is going to be a great thing. Is GSP going to take down Nick? Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? But I think we're going to do a lot of work on the bottom with a lot of kicking butt off the bottom, and you know, force GSP to work a little bit. I think deeper waters are going to be forced to stand up on their feet a little more, and we'll see some more exchanges. And I don't think GSP likes to fight as much as Nick does. I think GSP likes to have a match, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gilbert.
Right on, guys. Thank you.